The security footage would later show Derek Thompson's body flying backward through the air like a rag doll, blood spraying from his nose in a perfect arc, but nobody at Lincoln High believed a girl in a wheelchair could generate that kind of force. Maya Johnson had endured 2 years of torment from the star quarterback and his crew, her paralyzed legs, making her an easy target in their twisted game of dominance. What they didn't know was that while they were partying and bullying their way through high school, Maya had been training with a former Navy SEAL who'd lost his own leg in Combatan today. In front of half the student body, she was about to teach them why you should never underestimate someone just because they roll instead of walk. Before we dive into Maya's incredible story, I just want to take a quick moment to say thank you for being here. Stories like Maya's about finding strength in the face of adversity and standing up to those who try to break us, these are the stories that need to be told. If this resonates with you, please hit that like button and share your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one, and your experiences matter. And if you want to help me continue bringing these powerful stories to light, stories that inspire and empower those who need to hear them most, consider hitting the thanks button below this video. Every contribution, no matter how small, helps me dedicate more time to finding and sharing these transformative moments that remind us all of our inner strength. Now, let's get back to that September morning when everything changed. The morning of September 15th started like any other at Lincoln High School in Atlanta. Maya Johnson guided her wheelchair through the main entrance at exactly 7:45 a.m., her backpack secured to the back of her chair and her chemistry textbook balanced on her lap. The familiar squeak of her wheels on the polished linoleum floor announced her arrival to anyone within earshot. "Here comes Meals on Wheels," Marcus Chen muttered to his teammates. Loud enough for Maya to hear, the group of football players lounged against the lockers like they owned the hallway, which, in the social hierarchy of Lincoln High, they practically did. Maya kept her eyes forward, her jaw tight. 2 years of this, and she'd managed to avoid any major confrontations. Her mother's words echoed in her mind, "Baby, you pick your battles. Some fights ain't worth winning if they cost you your future." But Derek Thompson had other plans that morning. "Yo, Maya," his voice boomed across the hallway, causing several freshmen to scatter. At 6'3" and 220 pounds of muscle, Derek commanded attention wherever he went. His father owned 3 car dealerships in Atlanta, and Derek wore his privilege like armor. "Where you rolling to so fast? Physical therapy?" The laughter from his crew, Marcus Chen, Tyler Brooks, and a handful of other players echoed off the lockers. Maya's hands tightened on her wheels, but she kept moving. "I'm talking to you. Cripple." The word hung in the air like a slap. Students stopped mid-conversation, their eyes darting between Maya and Derek. Someone pulled out a phone, anticipating drama. Maya's best friend, Jasmine Williams, stepped out from behind her locker. At 5'2" and 160 pounds, Jasmine had endured her own share of bullying for her weight, but she never backed down when it came to defending Maya. "Leave her alone, Derek," Jasmine said, her voice shaking slightly, but determined. "Don't you have a ball to throw around or something?" Derek's eyes narrowed. "Was I talking to you, Fat Albert?" "Hey!" Maya finally spun her chair around, her dark eyes flashing with anger. "You want to come at me? Fine. But you leave her out of this." "Ooh, she speaks," Tyler laughed, high-fiving Marcus. "Careful, Derek. She might run over your toes." Derek sauntered forward, his Letterman jacket swaying with each step. He towered over Maya, using his height to intimidate. "What are you going to do about it? Wheels? Stand up for your friend?" The hallway fell silent. Even the teachers, pretending not to notice the confrontation, stopped in their tracks. Mr. Peterson, the biology teacher, stood at his classroom door, coffee mug in hand, watching but not intervening. Like most of the faculty at Lincoln High, he'd learned it was easier to look the other way when Derek Thompson was involved. Derek reached out and grabbed the handle of Maya's wheelchair. "Let me help you get to class faster. Don't touch my chair," Maya warned, her voice low and dangerous. Or what? Derek smirked, giving the chair a sudden shove. Maya's textbook went flying, her carefully organized notes scattering across the floor like fallen leaves. Her backpack strap caught on the wheel, yanking it off the back of her chair. Students gasped as Maya had to grab her wheels to stop herself from rolling into the wall. "Oops," Derek said, his voice dripping with mock concern. "So clumsy of me. Here, let me help you pick those up." "Oh, wait. You can't bend down that far." "Can you?" Jasmine immediately dropped to her knees, scrambling to collect Maya's papers. Other students walked by, some recording on their phones, others averting their eyes. The few who looked sympathetic didn't dare intervene. "That's enough. Mr. Thompson." Everyone turned to see Principal Sharon Davis standing at the end of the hallway. At 50 years old, with silver-streaked hair pulled back in a severe bun, she commanded respect. At least the appearance of it. Derek immediately transformed, his sneer melting into an innocent smile. "Just trying to help Maya get to class." "Principal Davis, here stuff fell." "I see," Principal Davis said. "Hair, tone, neutral." She looked at Maya, who was still gripping her wheels. "Knuckle pale." "Miss Johnson, do you need assistance?" Maya wanted to scream. She wanted to tell Principal Davis exactly what had happened. How Derek had been tormenting her for 2 years. How the administration's indifference had emboldened him. Instead, she shook her head. "No, ma'am, I'm fine." Principal Davis nodded, already turning away. "Then I suggest everyone get to class. The bell rings in 3 minutes." As the principal's heels clicked down the hallway, Derek leaned down close to Maya's ear. "See you around." Wheels. Try not to get stuck in any doorways. The football players dispersed. Laughing and congratulating Derek on another successful harassment, Jasmine finished gathering Maya's papers, her hands shaking with suppressed rage. "I hate them," Jasmine whispered, handing Maya her chemistry notes. "I hate all of them." Maya carefully arranged her materials back on her lap, her movements precise and controlled. "Don't waste your energy hating them. Jas, they're not worth it." "How do you stay so calm?" I wanted to punch him in his stupid, perfect face. "My mom always says the best revenge is success," Maya replied, though her voice lacked conviction. "Come on, we'll be late for chemistry." As they made their way to class, Maya caught a glimpse of herself in the trophy case reflection. A 16-year-old black girl with her hair in neat braids, wearing a purple sweater her mother had picked out because it brought out her beautiful eyes. She looked small in her chair. Vulnerable. Exactly how Derek saw her, but reflections could be deceiving. That afternoon, Maya sat in her bedroom, staring at the ceiling. The walls were covered with posters of Paralympic athletes and motivational quotes. A photo on her nightstand showed a younger Maya, Aga 8, standing on a soccer field with a trophy in her hands. That was before the accident, before everything changed. "Maya, honey, you okay?" Linda Johnson peered into her daughter's room, still wearing her nurse scrubs from her shift at Grady Hospital. At 42, she looked older, stress lines etched deep from years of single parenthood and medical bills. "I'm fine, Mom." Linda's expression said she didn't believe it for a second. She entered the room and sat on Maya's bed. Her hand, finding her daughter's "Bad day at school?" Maya shrugged. "Same as always." "That Thompson boy again? How did you?" "Jasmine's mother called me. Said there was an incident this morning." Maya pulled her hand away. "It's nothing I can't handle, baby." "You don't have to handle it alone. We can talk to the principal, file a complaint." "Mom, please." Maya's voice cracked slightly. Principal Davis saw the whole thing and did nothing. "Filing a complaint will just make it worse. Derek's dad will lawyer up. Say I'm making false accusations. You know how this works." Linda's shoulders sagged. She did know. The Thompson family had money, influence, and connections throughout Atlanta. James Thompson had donated $50,000 to the school's new football stadium. The dedication plaque bore his name in bold letters. I hate seeing you hurt." Linda whispered. You've been through enough? Maya's mind flashed back to that night 8 years ago. The screech of tires, the impact, waking up in the hospital to find her father gone and her legs useless. The months of physical therapy, learning to navigate the world from a chair. The look on her soccer coach's face when he realized she'd never play again. I know, Mom, but I'm stronger than they think. Linda kissed her daughter's forehead. You're the strongest person I know. Baby, just like your grandmother, she didn't take nonsense from anybody. After her mother left, Maya wheeled herself to her desk and opened her laptop. She scrolled through social media, finding exactly what she expected, videos of the morning's incident from multiple angles. The comments were a mix of laughing emojis and cruel jokes. Look at Derek putting the cripple in her place. Oh, why does she even come to regular school? Derek Thompson is a legend. But scattered among the negativity were other voices. This is messed up. Someone needs to stop him. I'm tired of watching Derek bully people. Maya doesn't deserve this. Nobody does. Maya closed the laptop and looked at the business card tucked into her mirror frame. Carter's Combat Training, Adaptive Martial Arts. She'd picked it up at a disability resource fair 6 months ago but never called. Her mother would worry. The expense would strain their already tight budget, but as Maya replayed the morning's humiliation, feeling Derek's hands on her chair, hearing the laughter, seeing the indifference in everyone's eyes, something inside her shifted. She picked up her phone and dialed. Carter's Combat Training. This is Raymond. Hi. My name is Maya Johnson. I picked up your card at the resource fair. I use a wheelchair. And I was wondering if you really teach martial arts to people like me? There was a pause, then a warm chuckle. People like you? You mean people who refuse to be victims? Yeah. I teach people exactly like you. When can you come in? The next afternoon, Maya told her mother she was studying at the library with Jasmine. Instead, she took the bus to a converted warehouse on the outskirts of Atlanta. The building looked unremarkable from the outside. Just another industrial space with barred windows and graffiti-tagged walls. Inside was a different story. The space opened into a professional training facility with padded floors, heavy bags, and specialized equipment Maya had never seen before. What caught her attention immediately was the man in the wheelchair executing perfect strikes on a training dummy. Coach Raymond Carter was not what Maya expected. At 45, he moved with the fluid grace of someone half his age. His left leg ended just below the knee, a prosthetic attached to his chair's footrest. His arms were corded with muscle, and his dark skin bore the scars of a lifetime of combat. Maya Johnson, he said, spinning his chair to face her. On time. I like that. Maya gestured at his chair, then caught herself. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to assume the coach could walk? Raymond laughed. A deep, genuine sound. Don't apologize for being surprised. Most people are. Lost my leg to an IED in Afghanistan. Doctors said I'd never fight again. I proved them wrong. He rolled closer, studying Maya with intelligent eyes. Tell me why you're here. Maya hesitated. I want to learn self-defense. Bullshit. The blunt response startled her. Excuse me? Self-defense is what you tell yourself you want, but I see that look in your eyes. Same look I had when I woke up in that hospital bed. You don't want defense. You want power. You want to show everyone who counted you out that you're not weak? Maya's throat tightened. Is that wrong? Hell no. It's human. The question is what you do with that feeling. You can let it eat you up inside, turn you bitter, or you can channel it into something useful. He gestured around the gym. This place? It's not about teaching disabled people to fight. It's about teaching fighters that disability doesn't define their limits. He wheeled over to a specially designed training area with lower heavy bags and modified equipment. First lesson is free. After that, it's $200 a month. That gonna be a problem? Maya thought about her mother working double shifts, about their stack of medical bills, about the $10 in her wallet that needed to last until Friday. No. Sierra. No problem. Raymond studied her for a long moment, then nodded. All right then. Let's see what you got. First thing, your chair is not a limitation. It's a weapon. 26 pounds of aluminum and steel that moves with you. Most people see it as something that holds you back. I'm going to teach you to see it as an extension of your body. Had demonstrated a simple defensive position. Hands up. Chair angled. Your center of gravity is lower than any standing opponent. That's an advantage. Your upper body has to compensate for your legs, which means with proper training, you can generate more power than you think. For the next hour, Raymond taught Maya basics she'd never considered: how to lock her wheels for stability, how to use her chair's momentum in defensive movements, how to strengthen her core to maintain balance during combat. The thing about fighting from a chair, Raymond explained as Maya practiced wheel locks, is that everyone underestimates you. They see the disability, not the person. They get close because they think you can't reach them. They grab your chair because they think it makes you helpless. Every assumption they make is an opportunity for you to prove them wrong. By the end of the session, Maya's arms burned and her shirt was soaked with sweat, but something had awakened inside her. For the first time since the accident, she felt powerful. Same time next week? Raymond asked as she prepared to leave. Maya thought about the money, about lying to her mother, about all the reasons she should say no. Instead, she nodded. Yes? See ya. One more thing, Raymond called out as she reached the door. That anger you're carrying? It's fuel, but fuel without direction just burns everything down. You decide what kind of fire you want to be. That night, Maya couldn't sleep. She kept replaying Coach Carter's words in her mind while staring at her paralyzed legs under the blanket. For 8 years, she'd seen them as dead weight, reminders of everything she'd lost. But as she flexed her arms, feeling new strength in muscles she'd never noticed before, a radical thought emerged. What if her legs weren't her weakness? What if losing them had forced her to develop power in places others neglected? She grabbed her phone and searched Paralympic athletes wheelchair racing and spent hours watching videos of athletes flying around tracks. Their chairs, extensions of pure speed and determination. That could be me, she whispered into the darkness. And for the first time since the accident, she meant it. Over the next 2 months, Maya transformed. She told her mother she'd joined an after-school study group that met 3 times a week. The lie tasted bitter. But the alternative, watching her mother worry and scrape together money they didn't have, seemed worse. She picked up odd jobs where she could, tutoring freshmen in math, helping Mrs. Chen at the corner store with inventory, dog walking for neighbors who didn't mind that she did it from her chair. Every dollar went toward her training. The physical changes came gradually. Her arms grew stronger, more defined. Her core stability improved dramatically. She could balance on her back wheels now, spin her chair with precision, execute strikes that would have been impossible before. But the mental changes were even more profound. The taunts at school still hurt, but they no longer devastated her. When Derek accidentally knocked her books off her desk in history class, she calmly picked them up instead of fighting back tears. When Marcus tried to block her path in the hallway, she maneuvered around him with fluid grace. You seem different, Jasmine observed one lunch period, watching Maya easily navigate the crowded cafeteria. More confident? Just trying that whole best revenge is success thing, Maya replied. Though she could feel her muscles coiled with new strength under her sweater, Coach Carter pushed her harder each session. He introduced her to the hurricane spin, a devastating technique that used the chair's rotation to generate massive centrifugal force. It required perfect timing, exceptional core strength, and absolute commitment. This isn't a move you use lightly, Raymond warned as Maya practiced the setup for the 100th time. You deploy this wrong. You could seriously hurt someone. You deploy it right. He demonstrated on the heavy bag, his chair spinning in a blur, before connecting with a strike that made the 150-pound bag swing like a pendulum. Well, let's just say they'll remember it. Maya absorbed everything. The footwork, or in her case, wheelwork, the importance of keeping her guard up, how to read an opponent's body language, how to create distance and close it at will. You're a natural. Raymond told her one evening as she executed a perfect combination, but natural talent without discipline is worthless. What's your why? Maya, what keeps you coming back? Maya paused, breathing hard. I'm tired of being afraid. Fear's not the enemy. Fear keeps you sharp. The enemy is letting fear control you. There's a difference between being fearless and being brave. Brave acknowledges the fear and acts anyway. As October rolled into November, the confrontations at school escalated. Derek seemed to sense something changing in Maya, and it made him more aggressive. He accidentally spilled chocolate milk on her during lunch. He blocked the wheelchair ramp with his car, forcing her to take the long way around. He started an Instagram page called Lincoln High Cripple Watch, featuring creep shots of Maya struggling with everyday tasks. We should report the page, Yasmin urged, scrolling through the posts with disgust. This is cyberbullying. Maya just smiled grimly. Let him post. He's documenting his own behavior. What Derek didn't know was that Maya screenshotted everything, every post, every comment, every laughing emoji from his teammates. She saved the cafeteria security footage. Jasmine's cousin leaked to her showing the milk incident. She kept a detailed journal of every harassment, every accident, every moment of targeted cruelty. Playing the long game? I see. Coach Carter observed when Maya mentioned her documentation during training. Smart, but be careful. Evidence is good for aftermath. It won't help you in the moment when things go sideways. What do you mean? Raymond's expression grew serious. I mean, guys like this Derek kid, they escalate, they push and push until something breaks. And when that moment comes, all the screenshots in the world won't matter. What will matter is whether you're ready. His words proved prophetic. It was the Tuesday before Thanksgiving when everything came to a head. Maya had just finished a particularly intense training session, finally nailing the hurricane spin consistently. Her confidence was at an all-time high as she entered school the next morning. She should have known Derek would sense it. Well? His voice echoed through the main hallway. Looking pretty proud of yourself today. Wheels. Maya kept rolling, but Derek stepped directly in her path. Behind him, Marcus and Tyler formed a wall. I'm talking to you. Cripple. Getting pretty sick of your attitude lately. Acting like you're better than us. I need to get to class. Derek, move. The hallway was filling up with students. Phones already out. Mister. Peterson stood at his door again. Koffiemug in hand. Watching. Make me. Derek sneered. Oh wait. You can't. Because you're broken. He reached for her chair's handles. Time slowed. Maya's hands moved to her wheels. Finding the grip Coach Carter had drilled into her muscle memory, her core engaged, every muscle coiled like a spring. Last warning, she said quietly. Don't touch my chair. Derek laughed. Or what? You'll run me over? Call your mommy? Face it. Maya. You're nothing. Just a crippled girl who… He grabbed her chair handles and pulled. The moment Derek's hands closed around her wheelchair handles, Maya's training took over. 8 weeks of muscle memory, countless hours of practice, and the voice of Coach Carter in her head. When the moment comes, don't think, react. Maya's hands slammed down on her wheel rims, locking them in place with practiced precision. Her core muscles, strengthened by hundreds of hours of training, engaged like steel cables. In one fluid motion, she twisted her entire upper body to the left, using the locked wheels as a pivot point. What the… Derek started to say. But Maya was already moving. She released her left wheel while keeping the right locked, allowing her chair to whip around in a controlled spin. The momentum built exactly as Coach Carter had taught her. As her chair rotated, she leaned back slightly, raising the front casters off the ground. Her left leg, though paralyzed, was still attached to the footrest, and the footrest was part of the chair, and the chair had become an extension of her body. The hurricane spin reached its apex, 26 pounds of aluminum and steel, plus Maya's 120-pound frame. all rotating at maximum velocity. The footrest of her wheelchair connected with Derek's face with the force of a professional boxer's haymaker. The sound was sickeningly satisfying wet crunch, followed by Derek's shocked cry. His hands released Maya's chair as his body lifted off the ground. His 220 pounds of muscle rendered weightless by physics and perfect technique, he flew backward, arms windmilling, before crashing into the lockers 6 feet away. Time resumed its normal speed. Derek slumped to the floor, blood streaming from his nose. His perfect face, the one that graced Lincoln High's promotional materials and his father's dealership commercials, was a mess of red. He touched his face in disbelief, staring at his bloodied hand like it belonged to someone else. The hallway erupted. "Oh my God! Did you see that? She knocked him out! World star! World star!" Phones captured every angle as students pushed forward to see. Marcus and Tyler stood frozen, their bravado evaporating as they watched their leader bleeding on the floor. Maya calmly lowered her front casters back to the ground, adjusted her position in her chair, and smoothed down her purple sweater. Her heart was racing, adrenaline flooding her system. But outwardly, she appeared completely composed. "I warned you not to touch my chair," she said quietly. Derek struggled to his feet, swaying slightly. His nose was clearly broken, already swelling. Blood dripped onto his Letterman jacket, staining the white leather sleeves. "You? You hit me!" "No." Maya corrected, her voice steady. "You assaulted me, and I defended myself. Important distinction." "You're dead!" Derek lunged forward. But Tyler and Marcus grabbed his arms, holding him back. Whether they were protecting him or Maya was unclear. "What is going on here?" Principal Davis's voice cut through the chaos like a knife. She pushed through the crowd of students, her face pale as she took in the scene. Derek Thompson, star quarterback and son of the school's biggest donor, bloodied and being restrained. Maya Johnson, the disabled girl who'd never caused trouble, sitting calmly in her wheelchair. "She attacked me!" Derek shouted, spraying blood with each word. "This crazy bitch attacked me!" Language. "Mr. Thompson," Principal Davis snapped, though her eyes were already calculating the fallout. She turned to Maya. "Miss Johnson, what happened?" Maya met her gaze steadily. "Derek grabbed my wheelchair against my explicit warning not to touch it. I defended myself using adaptive martial arts techniques I've been learning. I have 63 students who witnessed the entire event, and I'm sure many of them recorded it." "She broke my nose!" Derek wailed. "And you've been breaking my spirit for 2 years?" Maya replied. "The difference is, noses heal." The crowd oohed at the comeback. Principal Davis looked like she wanted to disappear. "Mr." Peterson still stood in his doorway, coffee mug frozen halfway to his lips. "Everyone to class. Now," Principal Davis barked. "Except you two. Nurse's office. Then my office. Move." As the crowd dispersed, Jasmine pushed through to Maya's side. "That was amazing," she whispered fiercely. "You're my hero, just tired of being pushed around," Maya said, though a small smile tugged at her lips. In the nurse's office, Derek refused to sit anywhere near Maya. Nurse Patricia, a kind woman in her 60s, examined his nose with professional detachment. "Definitely broken," she confirmed. "You'll need to go to the hospital for x-rays and probably have it reset." "I'm pressing charges," Derek announced, pointing at Maya with a tissue pressed to his nose. "Assault and battery. My dad's going to sue you for everything you have." Maya pulled out her phone. "Great. Should I send him the Instagram page you created called Lincoln High Cripple Watch? Or maybe the compilation video I made of the 37 separate incidents of harassment you've subjected me to this semester alone? I'm sure the district attorney would find it fascinating context." Derek's face, already pale from blood loss, went white. "You? What? Oh, did you think I was just taking it?" Maya scrolled through her phone. October 3rd. "You accidentally spilled chocolate milk on me." October 10th. "You blocked the wheelchair ramp with your car for 45 minutes. October 17th. You posted a video of me struggling to reach a high shelf with the caption, "Watching the cripple try to be normal. Should I continue?" Those were jokes. November 2nd. You told the entire cafeteria that the school should install a handicapped entrance at the back, so normal people don't have to see the wheelchairs. November 8th. You grabbed my chair and pushed me into the boys' bathroom. November 15th. Okay, I get it. Derek's bravado crumbled. You can't prove any of that. Maya smiled. Security cameras. Witness statements. And your own social media posts say otherwise. But hey, call your daddy. I'm sure he'll be thrilled to learn his son's been committing hate crimes based on disability. That'll look great in the college applications. Principal Davis entered the nurse's office. Herr Expression Grimm. Mr. Thompson, your father is on his way to take you to the hospital. Miss Johnson, your mother has been called as well. I want her expelled, Derek demanded. That's not your decision. Mr. Thompson, now, both of you will remain here until your parents arrive. No talking. 20 minutes later, James Thompson burst through the door like a hurricane in an expensive suit. At 52, he was an older, more polished version of his son, same height, same athletic build, same attitude of entitlement. What the hell happened to my boy? He demanded. Seeing Derek's swollen face, Dad. As a no, Derek grabbed my wheelchair and assaulted me. Maya interrupted calmly. I defended myself. Your son has been terrorizing me for 2 years, and I have extensive documentation of his harassment. James Thompson turned his fury on Principal Davis. This is unacceptable. I donate $50,000 a year to this school. And this is how my son is treated? Mr. Thompson, please. That girl assaulted my son. I want her expelled and arrested immediately. Actually, a new voice said from the doorway. I think we need to discuss your son's pattern of harassment and assault against my client. Everyone turned to see a tall black woman in a sharp business suit. She carried herself with the confidence of someone who ate corporate lawyers for breakfast. Who the hell are you? James Thompson demanded. Angela Morrison, attorney at law. She moved to stand beside Maya. I represent Miss Johnson and several other students who have been systematically harassed by your son. We were preparing to file a civil suit, but this incident has accelerated our timeline. Maya looked confused. I didn't hire. Your coach did, Angela said quietly. Raymond Carter is my brother. He called me the moment he heard what happened. James Thompson's lawyer instincts kicked in. You have no case? This girl attacked my son, in clear self-defense after repeated warnings. All captured on video. Angela pulled out a tablet. Would you like to see the compilation? 63 incidents over 2 years. Your son targeting disabled students, overweight students, and scholarship kids. The pattern is clear and legally actionable. She swiped through footage that Maya recognized, some from her own collection, others from sources she hadn't known about. Derek pushing a kid with crutches. Derek accidentally knocking over a girl in a back brace. Derek and his crew surrounding Jasmine, oinking at her. The district attorney has expressed interest in pursuing hate crime charges. Angela continued. Harassment based on disability is a federal offense. Add in the cyberbullying component, and your son could be looking at serious consequences. James Thompson's face had gone from red to pale. He looked at his son, then at the tablet showing video after video of Derek's cruelty. However, Angela said, closing the tablet, my clients are willing to consider alternative resolutions, provided certain conditions are met. Linda Johnson arrived then, still in her scrubs, face tight with worry. Maya, baby, are you okay? I'm fine. Mom. Linda's eyes took in Derek's bloodied face. The lawyer, the furious father. What's going on? Your daughter defended herself against an assault. Angela explained. I'm Angela Morrison, Coach Carter's sister. He asked me to ensure Maya's rights are protected. Coach Carter? Linda looked at Maya. Who is Coach Carter? What coach? Maya's stomach dropped. In all the chaos, she'd forgotten about her secret. Mom, I can explain. She's been training at my brother's gym. Angela said smoothly, learning adaptive self-defense. Clearly. The training was necessary. Linda's face went through several emotions: surprise, hurt at the deception, anger at the situation, and finally, fierce maternal pride. You've been training? To defend yourself? I'm sorry I lied. Maya whispered. I didn't want you to worry or spend money we don't have. Oh, baby. Linda pulled Maya into a hug. Don't you ever apologize for protecting yourself? Ever. Principal Davis cleared her throat. Perhaps we should move this discussion to my office. All of you. The next hour was a tense negotiation. Angela Morrison proved why she was worth her hourly rate. Systematically dismantling every threat and argument James Thompson tried to make. She had depositions from 13 students, screenshots of deleted social media posts, security footage that the school claimed didn't exist, but mysteriously appeared on her tablet. Here's what's going to happen, Angela said finally. Derek will be suspended for the remainder of the semester. He'll undergo mandatory sensitivity training and 100 hours of community service at a disability advocacy center. He'll write a public apology to be read at the next school assembly. The Lincoln High Cripple Watch page will be deleted, and he'll be banned from social media for 6 months. This is extortion, James Thompson shouted. No, this is accountability. The alternative is criminal charges and a civil suit that will bankrupt your dealerships in legal fees alone. Your choice. Derek, who had been silent through the negotiations, finally spoke. Dad, just agree to it. Derek, I messed up. Okay? Derek's voice was muffled by the tissues packed in his nose. I've been messing up. Just make this go away. James Thompson looked at his son, really looked at him for perhaps the first time. The golden boy who could do no wrong, the star athlete who was above consequences, the bully who'd hidden behind his father's money and influence. Fine, he said quietly. We'll agree to the terms. Angela smiled. Excellent. Oh, and one more thing. The school will implement a zero-tolerance anti-bullying policy with real consequences, regardless of who the perpetrator's parents are. Principal Davis. I trust you'll see to that personally? Principal Davis nodded quickly. Of course, absolutely. As they left the office, Linda kept her arm around Maya. We're going to have a long talk about keeping secrets. Young lady. But first, I want to meet this Coach Carter who taught my baby to fly. That evening, Maya found herself back at Carter's combat training. But this time with her mother by her side. The gym was closed to regular training, but Coach Carter had insisted they come by. So you're the man who's been training my daughter in secret, Linda said, sizing up Raymond. Guilty as charged, Raymond replied. Your daughter told me she was paying with money from odd jobs. Found out today she's been going hungry some days to afford the lessons. I should have known something was up, Coach. Raymond held up a hand. You did what you thought you had to do. I respect that. But from now on, you train for free. Consider it an investment in someone who's going to change the world. Linda's eyes glistened. Thank you. But I can't accept. You can, and you will. Your daughter has natural talent I've rarely seen. More than that, she has heart. Do you know how many people I've trained who had the physical ability but not the mental strength? Maya has both. He wheeled over to a wall covered in photos. Soldiers, police officers, civilians all in wheelchairs or with visible disabilities, all in fighting stances. Every person on this wall came here broken, Raymond said, not because of their disabilities, but because the world told them they were less than. Maya reminded me today why I opened this place, not to create fighters, but to help people reclaim their power. I just got tired of being afraid. Maya said quietly. No, Raymond corrected. You got tired of letting fear control you? There's a difference. You were afraid today. I could see it in your stance. But you acted anyway. That's not the absence of fear. That's courage. Linda squeezed Maya's shoulder. I'm proud of you, baby. And I'm sorry you felt like you had to face this alone. She wasn't alone, a voice said from the doorway. Yasmin entered, followed by 2 other students. Maya recognized Kevin Chen, who used crutches due to cerebral palsy, and Sarah Martinez, who had a prosthetic arm. "We saw what you did today," Kevin said, "how you stood up to Derek. We want to learn too." "Me too," another voice added. A boy with hearing aids stepped forward, then a girl with a walking brace. Soon, a dozen students with various disabilities filled the gym. Coach Carter looked at the group, then at Maya. "Looks like you started something." "I didn't mean to. The best movements never mean to start," Raymond said. "They just answer a need that was already there. The question is, what are you going to do about it?" Maya looked at the faces around her. Students who'd been pushed around, mocked, made to feel less than. Students who'd watched her stand up to their tormentor and saw possibility. "Teach them," she said to Coach Carter. "Teach all of them." Raymond smiled. "I was hoping you'd say that, but I'll need an assistant instructor. Someone who understands what they've been through. You interested? But I've only been training for 2 months. And in 2 months? You took down the biggest bully in school. Sometimes the best teacher isn't the most experienced. It's the one who remembers what it feels like to be powerless. The next Monday, Maya returned to Lincoln High, a different person. Not because she'd become some unstoppable warrior, she was still the same 16-year-old girl in a wheelchair. But because she'd proven to herself and everyone else that she wasn't a victim, Derek was notably absent. Beginning his suspension and community service, Marcus and Tyler gave her a wide berth in the hallways. Other students nodded respectfully or offered small smiles of support. "You know what the best part is?" Jasmine said as they headed to chemistry. "It's not that Derek got punished or that everyone's treating you differently. It's that you look free." Maya considered this. For 2 years, she'd navigated the halls with her shoulders hunched, trying to make herself smaller, less noticeable. Now she sat straight, met people's eyes, took up the space she deserved. "I feel free," she admitted. At lunch, Principal Davis made an announcement about the new zero-tolerance bullying policy. She didn't mention Maya by name, but everyone knew why things were changing. The policy had teeth-real consequences regardless of who your parents were or how many touchdowns you scored. That afternoon, Maya attended her first official class as assistant instructor at Carter's combat training. The 12 students who'd shown up grew to 20 by the end of the week. Coach Carter adapted techniques for each person's specific needs, while Maya helped them understand that their disabilities were just different starting points, not limitations. "The world wants to put you in a box," Maya told the group during one session. "Disabled, victim, less than, but you get to decide what you are, and sometimes deciding means defending your right to exist as you are." 3 weeks later, Derek Thompson stood before the entire school assembly. His nose had healed but sat slightly crooked, permanent reminder of November 21st. He unfolded a paper with shaking hands. "I want to apologize to Maya Johnson and everyone else I've hurt with my actions," he read, his voice monotone but audible. "I used my position and privilege to make others feel small because I thought it made me bigger. I was wrong. Strength isn't about pushing others down. It's about," he paused, swallowing hard, "it's about lifting others up. I'm sorry." The assembly was silent. Maya sat in the front row. Her expression neutral. When Derek finished and started to walk off stage, she raised her voice. "Derek." He stopped, turning slowly. "Apology accepted," Maya said clearly. "Now show us you mean it." Derek nodded once and left the stage. Whether he would truly change remained to be seen. But Maya had given him something many wouldn't have a chance at redemption. After the assembly, Maya found herself surrounded by students wanting to join the self-defense classes. Coach Carter had to open additional sessions to accommodate demand. What started as one girl learning to defend herself had become a movement. "You know what you've created here?" Angela Morrison asked. Visiting the gym one evening to see 30 students of all abilities training together, "A revolution. I just wanted to not be afraid," Maya said. "The best revolutions start that way. One person deciding they've had enough, One person showing others it's possible to fight back. You didn't just defend yourself that day. Maya, you defended everyone who's ever been made to feel powerless. As Maya watched Kevin practice strikes from his crutches, Sarah perfecting her prosthetic arm blocks, and Jasmine learning to use her size as an advantage rather than a liability, she understood what Angela meant. 6 months later, Lincoln High was a different place. The culture of bullying that had festered under the surface was exposed and addressed. Students with disabilities were no longer easy targets, but empowered individuals. The adaptive self-defense program had expanded to 3 other schools in the district. Derek Thompson completed his community service and returned to school a changed person. He kept his distance from Maya, but was seen helping a freshman in a wheelchair navigate the crowded halls. Small steps, but steps nonetheless. Maya received a scholarship to attend a summer camp for Paralympic hopefuls. Turns out, the upper body strength and coordination she'd developed made her a natural for wheelchair racing. Coach Carter just smiled when she told him, as if he'd known all along where her journey would lead. If Maya's transformation from victim to victor has touched your heart like it has mine, please take a moment to like this video and share it with someone who needs to hear that they are stronger than their circumstances. Your comments about your own experiences with overcoming adversity create a community of support that extends far beyond this story. And if you believe in the power of these narratives to change lives, consider clicking the thanks button below. Your support directly helps me discover and share more stories of incredible individuals like Maya, who refuse to let the world define their limits. Together, we're building a library of hope and inspiration for anyone who's ever been told they're not enough. Thank you for being part of this mission. On the last day of school, Maya sat with Jasmine outside, watching students stream past. The same spot where she'd once hidden from Derek and his crew had become their favorite lunch location. "You know what's crazy?" Jasmine said. "A year ago, you were afraid to come to school. Now you're teaching other people how to be brave. I had a good teacher?" Maya said, thinking of Coach Carter. "No," Jasmine corrected. "You had good technique. The bravery was always yours." As Maya headed home that afternoon, she passed the trophy case where she'd once seen her reflection and thought she looked small, vulnerable. Now she saw something different. A young woman who'd refused to be defined by her limitations, a fighter who used her wheels as weapons, a teacher who showed others their own strength. The girl in the wheelchair smiled back at her, sitting tall and unafraid. Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is show the world that you won't be moved, that you won't be silenced, that you won't go quietly into whatever box they've prepared for you. Sometimes, the most revolutionary act is simply refusing to be anyone's victim. And Maya Johnson? She was nobody's victim. Not anymore. Not ever again.